cracking today. So welcome to today's YuLi Daybreak. So nice and simple, what is this whole thing? Well, we just want to start giving you small changes which can lead to big results. So nice and simple, for those of you that don't know me yet or haven't joined in, my name is JC. I am a Pilates and an instructor and a personal trainer. And today I'm going to be taking you through just a simple stretch for a nice big chunky muscle here, which is a deep lying core muscle. And then we're going to work on activating it. And so the idea is a lot of you are going to be sat down for quite long periods of time. And so these deep lying core muscles not only tend to get stiff or shortened and stuck, but they also tend to get weak because we're just not using them enough. And so today I'm going to give you 2 stretches. So we're going to be at the door, guys, as always. So join along. So again, the muscle we're going to be working on is a nice big chunky muscle that's just around here, attaches to the pelvis and the bottom rib. So if you imagine when we're sat down all the time and hunched over and shortened, that muscle is always being shortened and it becomes very stiff. So we want to lengthen out that muscle first, and I'm going to show you that, and then we'll get into some activations. Very similar to what we did yesterday, but there's just going to be a slight difference in order to emphasize this lower region as opposed to this upper region which we worked on yesterday. So you're going to stand facing away. You're going to come with the opposite hand and you're going to grab the underside of the door, guys. Now, for some of you that maybe not be able to reach up here, don't worry. You're going to grab the door frame, but I want to make sure that you are reaching up. So please make sure that if you are grabbing onto the door frame as opposed to the top, then you are grabbing as high as you possibly can because we want some height in there. But we're going to reach through, guys. I'm going to grab onto the underside, and then I'm going to let my body just drift away, and I'm leaning from my pelvis. Once I've gone as far as I can, and I'm getting a nice big stretch through here, then I want to add a little rotation in. So you can use the other arm, and I'm leaning away, and that now starts to get into that deep lying core muscle which I was speaking about, and you get a nice stretch into that. So let gravity do the work for you. Let the hips fall, and then add a little rotation in. You can add rotation in both directions if you like, up to you. But I find twisting into the door really starts to get into that deep lying muscles. And the same as yesterday, you can pull the skin over if you want to facilitate a slightly bigger stretch. And that will really start to lengthen that out. Let's do the opposite side. I'm going to be facing away from you guys. I'm going through with the opposite hand, grabbing through, and then I'm letting the hips do the work for me. So my hips are dropping away. I'm pulling that skin, and then I'm adding a rotation. I'm rotating into the door, guys. And again, I'm getting a nice big stretch here in the lower region. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and gently come out. So again, the region that I want you guys to be feeling it is this chunky part here. That's where we want. And we just let gravity do the work for us, and we let our hips, our pelvis do the work for us. The next one, we are going to come into the door frame. This time you're going to come roughly about shoulder height. So again, I'm going to grab with the opposite hand. Roughly about shoulder height. Everything down is the same. I let the hips do the work for me. I lean away, and then all I'm going to do then is just let my hips do the work and drop out. Don't worry about rotating here. We just want to get into that. You can pull the skin again as we did to facilitate that. You might start to get it up into the region here, and I want you to force those hips. Just going to change my position a little bit. Force those hips, and I want you to let the hips lead, please. Take 2 deep breaths. Again, I'm getting it nice and deep into these big chunky aspects here. And then we're coming out, giving that a nice big shake. We're going to go in the opposite direction. So opposite hand, roughly about shoulder height. And then we let the hips do the work for us. Some of you might want to grab on with 2 hands if you're unable to hold yourself with 1 hand. That's not a problem. Again, the hips do the work. It's the hips that are moving. And then again, I'm getting a nice stretch in this big chunky part of my lower back. I use my other hand to pull the skin if I need to. That's not a problem. Take 2 deep breaths, 2 deep breaths. and then gently come out, guys. So we should be feeling that nice big stretch in these chunky parts here. Both of those, at least once a day, will really start to take that tension out, which most of you are going to start to feel over the coming weeks being sat for so long, especially in non-office chairs and things like dining chairs and sofas and things like that. These will really start to get tough. Now let's work them a little bit. So we're going to go into some side bends. You guys did the stretch version with me last week. We're now going to put them into a little bit of a different spin and start to activate these muscles. So what I want you to do before we do anything is I want you to be able to engage your abs. So either tense your abs, if that's the way you think about it, tensing, or you draw the belly button in. That's what I want you to think about. So you're going to draw the belly button in, so you're sucking the belly button in, not rounding, guys, I'm just drawing in the belly button. And then all I'm going to do is reach to the side and then come back. I want to keep this tight throughout. When I come to here, I'm also leading with the hips as we did, and then I'm coming back, keeping this engaged, and you should feel this aspect crunching and working. So squeeze your abs as you do this, and that's going to activate those deep lying core muscles that I talked about. We're going to do 2 more. Doesn't have to be fast, but I want you to make sure that you are sucking your belly button in, that you are keeping your abs tight. Let's go the opposite direction. So as I reach, my hips move as well. It's not just my upper body. Suck the belly button in, squeeze the abs. If you put your opposite hand here, I want you to be able to feel that tense up, this area here. Beautiful. We're going to do 2 more, 2 more. Squeeze, suck the belly button in. Beautiful job. This whole area should be lit up now, guys, and that's what we want. So the first 2 exercises, we're working on stretching out those chunky aspects of the lower back there, those deep lying core muscles that attach to the pelvis and the bottom rib, again, which are shortened all of the time because we're in this slouchy position. So that just lengthened them out, stretched us out. And then those side bends with the tensing, with the ab aspect to it, that starts to work and activate these deep lying core muscles, which is what we want because they are in charge of managing that bend, the bending motion. So we want to get those in. Let's finish with some breath work, nice and simple, as we did yesterday. I want to spice this up a little bit, and I want to add a little bit of oomph into it because it is a Tuesday, and again, we've got a long week ahead of us. So I want to keep things nice and quick in terms of breathing, but for those of you that maybe had a tough day or a tough Monday, again, I want you to take nice deep breaths, slow breaths, because again, we know that if we use slow breaths, we can bring our heart rate down and help de-stress. But if we use quick breaths and sharp breaths and hard breaths, we can bring our heart rate up, which can help us, help motivate us for the rest of the day. It is a Tuesday, so we're going to work on the fast pace. So nice and simple, I'm going to ask you to do 2 things today. Instead of just breathing, I want you to breathe hard as we did yesterday, but I want you to focus more so through the abdominals. So I want to see, or I want you guys, you obviously can see me, I can't see you. I want you to be able to see your own bellies moving when you are breathing out. So yesterday we did the fast breaths. We're going to do that again for 10, but I want you to try and focus on getting your belly button to move, all right? So you can take a deep breath in, breathe out, again, forcing all of that pressure through the abdominals, getting them switched on, getting your heart rate up, and getting you guys in the mood to take on the rest of the day. I will be here tomorrow, same time, same place, new exercises as always. If you guys have any questions, please reach out at hello@yulife.com. Please leave some comments below, reach out with some suggestions. If you guys would like to see anything specific, please let me know. I'd love to know what it is you guys are currently struggling with. But until then, I will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Have a great day.